Yesterday, something happened that it completely broke my heart and it made me feel super selfish. And by the way, if it looks like I've been crying, that's because I've been crying. So let's start at the beginning and I'll kind of walk you through everything. Yesterday I was pretty tired, so I went to bed very early, like around 6 o'clock. And unfortunately, for some reason, my mind just wouldn't shut off. I wasn't hungry. I've been really struggling with hunger lately. But for some reason, my brain was like, hey, let's think about food and all the things I could and probably should be eating. So even though I wasn't hungry, I didn't feel like eating, my brain just kept thinking about food over and over and over again to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm clearly not going to be able to sleep. Let's just get up, make some food, and then once I digest a bit, let's go back to bed. So that's what I did. Went up, made some food, ate, continued watching the movie. I stopped watching when I went to bed and, kind of waited to digest a bit, but it was taking like way too long. So I'm like, let's just go to bed and I'll finish digesting in bed, which turns out was a very bad idea because I had, well, one of the strangest dreams I've ever had and also one of the saddest ones. So in the dream, my wife and I just got married, and she started acting very odd, and I couldn't quite figure it out. And at first, I thought maybe she was cheating, but the more that I studied her, the more that I started paying attention, the more that I realized that that wasn't the case. She was starting to act very weird, very unusual. And after a while, I realized, like, oh crap, she's starting to lose her mind. I don't know exactly what it was. Maybe it was Alzheimer's, something else. But the point is, in the dream, I was forced to watch my wife, the person I love the most in the world, slowly deteriorate before my eyes and basically cease to exist. And just that experience of losing the person you love most, it completely broke my heart. And I thought that was the worst of it, but then I woke up and I realized, fuck, this is exactly what my wife has been going through for the last year and a half. Like, I'm not losing my mind, but she's been forced to watch me slowly deteriorate and inch closer and closer to death. And just realizing that and like getting a glimpse of what it was like, what she's been going through for the last year and a half, it just it just broke my heart, which was already kind of broken from the dream, but it's just like it completely shattered, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is so horrible. And it's like part of me felt guilty because I've been trying to help her. Of course, I love her and I see her that she's, worrying and stressing about what could happen to me. And every time something bad happens, it makes her sad and she cries and causes her pain and everything. And it's like I've been trying to help her and, stupidly because I didn't really understand what she was going through. I've been, trying to say, like, you get to control how you feel. Like, you should stop stressing and worrying about what could happen. You have no control over what's going to happen. Stressing is not making anything better, it's only making things worse. It's bad for you. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's true. But I mean, that doesn't help. It's like, I feel like I've been dismissive. Like, she'd say, like, I can't help worrying. I can't help stressing. I can't help being sad. And it's like, I didn't really understand. And it's like, now I do. And I'm just like, oh my God, I've been such a fucking asshole. Like, I've been so focused on what I'm going through, on my own suffering, that I didn't realize just how difficult it's been for her. And it was just, it was both like a horrible and an amazing experience. Like, horrible because, like, it made me super sad and made me, like, realize how difficult it's been for my wife, but at the same time, it was amazing because it showed me like just how strong she is. Like my dream, I don't know how long it lasted. Minutes, hours, like it doesn't matter. It was like a fraction of what my wife has gone through. Like she's been going through this for a year and a half. I like honestly, like the more I think about it, the more I think like I don't think I would be able to do it. I don't think I'd be able to be as strong as her watching the person I love most slowly die. And it's like, yeah, okay, we don't know what's going to happen, and that's the problem. We don't know. So that's why it's so hard. That's why it's so difficult for her. And it's just, it sucks. It's like I wish I could help and I can't. But anyway, yesterday during the night when I woke up and, I realized all of this, like it just made me realize like, okay, I need to do everything that I can to try to survive, not for me, but for my wife because she's so brave, she's so courageous. She suffered so much in the last year and a half. Like I can't imagine what it would be like for her if I died. Like she doesn't deserve that. So for the first time since I surrendered to God, I actually prayed. It's never felt right until now. But yesterday, I'm just like, I have to do this. Like, I need to do this for my wife. So I prayed and, I asked for a miracle. I asked God to save me. And, not for me, for her, because, like, her suffering, like, she deserves that suffering to end. I got a glimpse of it yesterday with that dream, and it's so horrible what she's been going through that it's not fair for me to die. Like, it's simply not fair for her. So obviously, like, I don't control the outcome, but it's like, you know, I'm going to do everything I can to maximize the odds. And, an example of that is, a while back, my friend gave me the weed gummies, and I've been kind of putting it off and waiting for the quote unquote right time to do it. And it's like, why are you waiting? Stop being an idiot. Try it. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll boost your appetite. You'll be able to eat more. You'll be, stronger. You'll feel better. And, if I'm stronger and I feel better, I have more energy, well, then maybe I can start walking again. Maybe I can start exercising again, which will once again make things better. And it's just like, yeah, it was a very strange, beautiful, horrible experience. And I've been kind of reliving it this morning. That's why I have the earbuds. Because yesterday I was listening to a movie and they had a remake of the song I Was Made for Loving You. And I don't know, I just felt the urge to listen to it. And this morning I've been listening to it on like repeat for maybe an hour and it just reminds me of that dream and that's why I was crying. And it's just it makes me both so sad and at the same time so proud of how brave and how strong my wife has been throughout this. I just, it amazes me how strong she's been. I've never met anyone as strong, as brave as her. And because of that, it's just like, it somehow makes things worse in a way because before it's just like, hey, if I'm meant to die, I'm meant to die. Like, yeah, I know it's going to be hard for my wife, but if it's what's meant to happen, it's what's meant to happen. It's like, that hasn't changed. I know I don't control the outcome. Whatever is meant to happen will happen. But it's just like now that I got a glimpse and I understand what she's been going through for the last year and a half, I'm just like, no, like I can't put her through this. I can't die. And yeah, it sucks. So yeah, that has been my night and my morning so far. So we'll see what comes next.